Hi guys, in this video you're about to watch a webinar that I did for a group of designers run by a recruitment company called RGM Digital, run by a friend of mine called Rupert. And basically I was presenting to them the 4 ways that designers can get through hard times and find work. And I really want you to watch this presentation. It's really helpful for you if you're struggling to find work, if you're looking for work, if you're dealing with like, how do I have a positive mind in this time and things seem a bit fretful or fearful, then this is the video for you, because not only is it going to keep you focused and exactly what you need to do to get yourself out there and find work, and how to network effectively so that you can actually get results. So please like and subscribe to this channel right now. Just click that red button to subscribe, click that notification bell so you can get literal reminders. But let's just get straight into the video. 4 ways that as designers we can get through really difficult times and find work. This is what I want to talk about today. I thought 2011 would have been the best year of my life. This is when I graduated from university, studied architecture, and like Rupert said, my life had changed. And the reason why is because in 2008, between 2008 and 2011, there was an economic crash. There was the recession, and the industry that got hit the hardest, or one of the hardest, was architecture, or the construction industry. And as a result, I sent out over 400 CVs. I got 4 responses, and of those 4 responses, they were all rejections. And here you can see me, my sister some years ago took a picture of me as I was looking for work on my iPad, and I couldn't find work, and I really struggled. But what was amazing about during the time while I was trying to find work is that I stumbled upon the work of this gentleman by the name of Don Norman. And what's so amazing about Don Norman is that his work really led me and drove me into user experience design. And now that's why I've started a UX design channel, product design channel, speaking about a wide range of things, but mainly centered on design, marketing, and being in this industry. And I've also been able to work with a range of companies over the years. And here's some of my work here, working for Eurosport. And recently I'm now managing the product designers at Dplay and growing the design team out there. I've been able to train business owners, hundreds of business owners over the years. And I've realized the main thing that's really taught me over this time is that opportunities are truly gained during the hardest times. And where before many of our design work was really about execution, designing files and handing over files to clients, our execution, or the execution side of what we do as designers, is really becoming commoditized. You can see this with websites like ThemeForest or Wix or Squarespace, where the commoditization, if that's the word I can use, of design has become very prevalent. And more designers are leaning more into becoming strategists. And I want to say that with this new, like how COVID is affecting businesses and how things are happening in the future, we need to become trusted advisors, where businesses or design departments or businesses in the companies don't just see design as, okay, we need a wireframe or we need a design done, but they really can see the designers as true problem solvers that can solve many problems within businesses. But the big problems that many of us on a personal note are facing is either I can't find work, or maybe you've lost your job and you've become furloughed. And if you can't find work, just put a 7 in the box, or if you've been furloughed, put a 7. Or maybe you're a freelancer and maybe you can't find clients. So whichever problem resonates with you, put 1, 2, or 3. And if it all literally resonates, literally just let me know there in the chat. Now, what I really want to touch on today is the 4 steps, or the 4 steps designers can take to get through hard times and find work. In the first section, I'm going to talk about how to have a positive mindset in this time. Secondly, I'm going to look at the 4 ways that you can sharpen, or the best way, that you can sharpen your skills. We're going to look at how to effectively market yourself so you can actually get results, and the best way to networking, how networking should be done, especially in this time. So the first thing I want to talk about is mindset and how to have a positive mindset. And one of the best examples, I love to use basketball in what I teach sometimes. So I've realized that hard work beats talent. And for those of you who don't know, this gentleman here, his name's Yogi Ferrell, and it might seem cliche for some, but he signed a 10-day contract with the Dallas Mavericks in 2008. And during that 10-day contract that he signed, he changed his life. But before he signed a 10-day contract with the Dallas Mavericks, Yogi Ferrell was in the D-League, the league underneath the NBA, and he was on the bench in that league. And they needed someone in for the Dallas Mavericks, and they chose to get this guy who was off the bench, who wasn't playing real time. He was sitting on the bench, but then he came in. And I just want to give you some stats that happened to Yogi Ferrell. During the time that he was there, He signed a 10-day contract on January 7th, 27th. And for those of you that don't know, the 27th of January is my birthday. So I think that's why this guy resonated with me. So he signs his contract on the 27th of January. On the 29th of January, he hits free throws that helped him to win against the Spurs. On the 30th of January, 6 days later, he outscores Kyrie Irving, who's one of the best NBA players in the league, right? And then on top of that, on the February 3rd, he makes the NBA rookie record with 9 3-pointers. He then goes on February 13th and scores 20 in a duel against Isaiah Thomas. And then after that, on March the 2nd, he wins Rookie of the Month. I want to tell you this, guys. He did all of this after he came off of the bench. So when he was on the bench, he wasn't able to play before. He gets this 10-day contract, joins in for 10 days. But during the time, he does amazing, and he does even more. And then what's amazing during that time, as you all seen, is that he's able to really have a positive mindset. And when he was interviewed, he said, look, while I was on the bench, I was taking that time to really practice my craft. And for many of us, you may feel like being at home is like being on the bench. But I want to say to you that this could be a setup to a better future for you. And that's how I really want to start this conversation today. And while we're at home, what are the things that we could do at home? But firstly, what is our current home situation like? Now, as we work from home, it could be that I'm stuck at home. It could be that there's a fear of going out, as you know what's happening. Or maybe we're at home alone with no family. Or maybe you're someone that you have children with you, and like myself, or maybe you're bored, and that is a real issue as well, because boredom can lead on to other mental challenges. And if you're somebody like me, I'm still getting up at 5:30 a.m. because my children do not want to sleep beyond 5:30. 5:30 is between 5:30 and 6, they're always up. So the first thing I've learned in this time is that you need to create a morning routine, because this is like the setup to your day. So my morning routine is like devotion and prayer, preparing breakfast for me and my children, getting some fresh air, get the children ready, get myself ready for work. And then I plan and prioritize my day and really get to work. So how do you plan your day? And I want to leave you with a tip here. There's a guy by the name of Brendan Bashard, and he shares this great document about how you can plan your day. And the best thing you could do is, what are the projects that I'm working on for today? Who are the people, that I need to reach out to today, and people that I'm waiting on who I've spoken to. And this is a great way that you can basically plan today. And you can say, what are the priorities? What are the things that I need to complete the day, no matter what? And I like to list it in an order of 3s, say top projects, top 3 people, top 3 priorities, and then you can basically begin to plan your day around this structure. And it gives you a sense of order, and it gives you a sense of, okay, I know what I need to go after for today. And having a morning routine really helps, because sometimes my children are then they come in the room, and then they come into meetings, and then it messes up the flow. But if I go back to how I've planned my day, then I can always be realigned. It's a real good way of realigning you if you ever get distracted. Another thing you could do is begin to follow what I call the New Start principle. And I've learned this for many years, and it's a great way to look at your holistic health. And I really want to kick it off there. And it's about nutrition, exercise, water, temperance, sunlight, temperance, air, rest, and trust. And trust is about building relationships with family, friends, loved ones, associates. And it's a great way to look at, am I getting good nutrition during this time? Am I exercising correctly? Am I getting adequate water as I sit down at my desk? Because water hydrates your body, keeps your mind alert. Getting adequate sunlight. Temperance means that I'm not overworking, I'm not doing too much, I'm not watching too much Netflix. There's a balance to your lifestyle. Are you getting enough fresh air? Are you getting enough rest? And are you building good relationships in this time as well? And it's a great way to begin to really, as I kick this off, have your mind in the right place. So the second thing I want to touch on is about sharpening your skills. Now, this is a really valuable time that we potentially may never get again. A great basketball analogy again that I want to use by a gentleman. His name is Steph Curry. Steph Curry is one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. And one day when he was playing against the Pelicans, his game-winning shot, he shoots the game-winning shot. And for those of you that may not be able to see this game-winning shot, while he shot this game-winning shot, it was recorded that while he was able to shoot that, his eyes were actually closed. And while his eyes were closed, those of you that don't know, the kind of fair-skinned guy in the Pelicans number 23 vest there, he is Anthony Davis, one of the best defensive players in the league. And while Steph Curry is, closing his eyes, he was able to shoot the game-winning shot. How did he do that? It was recorded when they interviewed Stephen Curry afterwards that before practice, he had shot 77 3-point shots in a row before the game even started. And Stephen Curry did that every time before he started a game. You see, if you practice well before the test or before the good game, when you get into the game, you'll be able to perform not only at your best, but you'll be able to perform against the biggest challenges and obstacles in your way. And with a good mindset and with good skills, you can do amazing things. And that's why I want you to also remember that results matter, because it was the result of him getting that game-winning shot that did big things. So what are some skills that you can begin to start developing? Is it research skills around usability testing, guerrilla testing, heuristics, information gathering, A/B testing, personas, market research? Is it design skills around wireframing and prototypes, or content strategy, sitemaps, mapping user journeys, process flows, interaction, micro interaction, information architecture? Are you looking at tools that you can basically improve on in this time? I know I'm going fast, guys, but I know for many of you, most probably know all these tools: Sketch, InVision, Abstract, Azure, Zeppelin, Trello, becoming more agile, understanding and reading good books. Or maybe is it about using Adobe's Creative Cloud even better? Or could it be business skills like sales, marketing, copywriting, things like finance, service design maybe, or customer experience, etc. So many skills that you could potentially improve on, because who you are now is where you could maybe judge yourself based upon the work that you're doing. But what you really want to think about is not what you're doing now, but what is the type of work that you really want to do going forward. So a great way to think about how you could improve is potentially considering niching down. And I found this super valuable for myself, because I know that my best skills as a UX designer are the process that you have can be able to solve problems in many industries, but there are some industries that I like more than others. When you niche down, this really helps to differentiate you. A gentleman by the name of Tim Brown from a company called IDEO called it becoming like T-shaped, where you're great in one thing and then you're also familiar with other stuff. So a T-shaped designer might have a good understanding across a range of areas, but really goes deep into one field. And that's more at like the high level of what skills you possess. But when you think about it, you can also apply that to when you go deep in your skilled area. Could you niche down a bit more and go a bit further? Because the more you know a problem or an industry or the type of challenges that businesses are having, there is more of a money exchange for the value that you bring to the table. Because money at its core is just a fundamental exchange of value. And if you become more valuable, then you can make more money. The great way I look at it is, this is a picture of me and my wife, and when it's her birthday, she likes to go out to restaurants, right? But she's the type of woman that if you buy her flowers, she's not really a flowers woman, doesn't really care for jewelry too much. And if she wants to buy clothes, then she buys clothes herself. The principle I want you to understand here is that the more you know someone, the better the gift that you can give them. And the better the gift is, the more it shows your appreciation. And niching down is like knowing something even more and providing a gift, your service, your skill set to a business and saying, hey, I can give you the best gift better than anybody else you're interviewing, because I know your problem better than anybody else you're about to see. And let me show you why. So you could do that based upon industry. Could you consider thinking maybe niching down based upon industry, finance, media, sports, cars, transport, construction, health, etc.? Or could you maybe niche down by demographics? Some people like to maybe work with youth or young men or women or pregnant women, children, veterans, enthusiasts in certain fields, or etc. So what do you specialize in? If you do have a specialty, could you think about that and begin to nail that down? Start to let recruiters know beforehand, I do have a wide range of skills and a process that can work in many industries, but I'm very, very good and I really know how to solve problems in these industries. Or and that's why I say, what other industries do you specialize in as well? And once you're very clear on your process, and this is a simple shot of the double diamond process, is that once you're very clear on your process, you know that when you go into an organization, you can apply the process to any problem, but then you also have deep in-depth knowledge of the general problems that these industry or this demographic generally has. I like to put it like this: a good design process takes us from confusion to understanding. And the next thing I want to show you is that once you've got this clear, when you start marketing yourself, you'll be 10 times more confident in doing that. One of the biggest things I've learned when there was a recession is that even though I was looking for work, I wasn't really clear. So I was just trying to go everywhere looking for work because I just needed a job. And it's hard to know where to look if everybody is looking for a job at the same time. So one of the ways that you can begin to market yourself, and you already know this, is by just maybe taking a rehash and a relook at your portfolio. And when you look at your portfolio, begin to think about things in a much more succinct way. So I see so many portfolios now. I think I've lost count. I'm in the hundreds, 200 plus portfolios I've seen while managing teams, growing teams. And if you look at, for example, an average portfolio, so many people like to show end results, or end visual results, I should say, and really don't nail down what was the actual brief. And if you have, then that's really good. And so for some of you, this could be just, yeah, I'm already doing this, keep it up. And for others, this could be maybe a time to rehash. Look at what was, when you show a case study, what was the brief? What was the problem that you were trying to solve? And I see so many portfolios where people will say that they worked on a project. When I interview and I ask, okay, so what did you do? It wasn't communicated in the portfolio what their specific roles and responsibilities was. So then you might see a beautiful project that looks amazing, but then you meet with the person, you interview them, and they only did something really specific, or they're speaking so vague that you know that they really didn't go in depth in the whole process of that project as well. So another thing that you can focus on as well is the key results, and do it up front. And this is a screenshot of how you can enter somebody into your case study, brief, responsibilities, results. You can do it right at the front of a project, and then you can use your double diamond process to explain the rest of the project. Discovery, what was your discovery like? Define, develop, deliver. You can use that as a process to map out all of your case studies. A very good way, because what hiring managers care about is simply just results. So if you are able to show the results and articulate the results with story, then it helps to better communicate you and helps to equip hiring managers to communicate you with real clarity and efficiency as well. So a great types of results you can show. Maybe you are somebody like myself. When I used to work in agency, you were maybe working 3 months, 6 months on a project. You didn't really have the time to get customer feedback to see how that project was performing out in the landscape. But could you get a client testimonial either from the people you worked with or the actual client around the work that you did? That's a result. You've got feedback from the client. Or have you been working on the case study a bit longer? Could you show any of these things? Increased happiness, increased engagement, increased adoption, increased customer retention, or improved task success. This is simply Google's Heart framework to measure user experience, but these are great metrics that you can use to show the results of the project's work that you were doing as well. I want to also share with you what are some other better ways, or what are some of the best ways to market yourself. And the best platform to be on currently is simply just LinkedIn. And here's how I discovered this, if not more. One day when I was sitting home, I was browsing around on LinkedIn on my phone, and as you know, someone's profile catches your eye, and it was simply just their video content. And I like to watch the video content of this lady. Her name is Mel Robbins. So I decided to view her page, and you see that building a brand is simpler than most people think. And that's really what you really want to think about with LinkedIn. Not just I need to get out there to build results, but it's also more so, how do I build my brand? Now, you don't want to be, maybe you're the person that doesn't want to always just be out there, but there's ways that you can build yourself. And I'm going to show you here where you don't have to be someone in front of video. I love to be in front of video, but not everybody's like that. But you have to remember that the more consistent you are, the more trust that you build. And if you can produce great quality content that helps to provide to people with real value, then you can build your brand authority as a designer and stay top of mind, especially in front of hiring managers and recruiters when they find the job roles that potentially suit somebody like yourself. And as you can see here in this screenshot from my LinkedIn messages, that people will start to reach out to you even when you're not asking for jobs because you're producing content and you're staying top of mind. Now, with LinkedIn, you can see how many people have viewed your profile on a daily basis, and you can also view what companies they're coming from as well. And this is such an important tool to help you see who is attracted to your profile. And I decided to run an experiment where I treated my profile as a landing page to provide much better information about what I do, who I serve, how I help people, and how to get in touch with me as well. And I also provided more high quality content directly in my LinkedIn feed. And literally it worked like magic. The results almost felt instant. And from that day forward, I always kept getting a consistent stream of opportunities that went straight into my messages, as well as speaking gigs, webinar style, like the one you see today with myself and Rupert. Thanks again, Rupert. And these were just simple tweaks to my LinkedIn profile that really began to make big differences and big impact along the way. And you may not know, but people are looking around searching for new people that they have in their database, especially hiring managers. And every time you interact on social media, what you're liking, sharing, and posting comes up directly in your activity on LinkedIn, and people can see that on your profile. Not only that, it integrates and like an invisible crowd. In other words, people could be brushing past, on LinkedIn, it gives you notifications around who has been viewing and searching your profile. And every single one is a chance. Every person that views your profile is a potential chance to grow awareness about you and the skills that you have. And some people, and even if you're not active on LinkedIn, if you have a profile on LinkedIn, people can see what you're doing, and you can generate a natural flow of potential work opportunities that could be passing you by every day by not using your LinkedIn more effectively. So the first thing I want to share with you is, when you look at your LinkedIn profile, start by having an engaging banner, professional headshot, talk about who you help and how you help them, and also be mindful of the things that you're liking, the comments, and what you share, because it all shows up in your activity on LinkedIn. So this is why it's good to follow hashtags on LinkedIn like UX design or product design that are relevant to your industry as a designer. But also, when you look at your profile, you want to think about the connections and the content that you have posted up on your LinkedIn profile. And this is so important to consider as well. This is an infographic by a company called Leisure Jobs, and I can send you the link afterwards as well, guys. Another thing you want to do is you want to make sure that on your LinkedIn, you've turned on career interests that let recruiters know that you're open for new opportunities. And another thing you want to do is you want to improve your profile strength from intermediate right the way up to all-star, because the more you can improve your profile strength is the more you begin to rank in LinkedIn search at the top. So you want to think, for my industry, have I got those keywords on my LinkedIn profile? Because the more that those keywords are on your LinkedIn profile, the better you will show up in the search results on LinkedIn. So you want to make sure you get that on your LinkedIn profile as well. Make sure your experience section speaks to the results that you've gained for the organizations you've worked with, because what companies need are the right people to do the right things at the right time with the right tools. And to stay to be the right person at the right time, you need to be top of mind with great quality content that really helps people and provides real value. Now, personally, I found that using video is the fastest way to build your personal brand. But you don't just have to do video. You can use podcasts, you can use blogs, you could use images, articles, posts, and documents. There's such a wide range of things that you can do. And really, at this time, I've seen that carousels are one of the best ways to engage and build a brand without you having to use video, articles, because some people might not like to write. Some people might not like to make video. Some people may not want to take up the energy of making a podcast. But these carousels are super simple and easy to do. And I've got a great video here from a friend of mine. His name's Chris Doe. Chris is a great person. I really love his content, and he really helped to show me this as well. So you can also watch a video here from Chris where he breaks down how to get followers. It's very Instagram focused, but I use the same principles to build like LinkedIn carousels, and I've seen amazing results. All right. So you don't need an expensive camera, because you can literally just use your mobile phone, and everything I've showed you today, you can use your phone to do, which is super, super effective as well. And here's some great apps that you can use, whether you want to build a podcast, a blog, or you're building images, articles, and documents. Everything I've shown you here, guys, can all be done from your mobile phone. And these are the exact tools that I've been using for years. Now, the key thing I want to leverage at the moment when it comes into social media is that instead of spending hours on social media, you should try at your best to automate your content that goes on this platform using apps like Hootsuite and Buffer. But personally, I like to use Buffer, because what I believe in this time, we don't want to be, I believe in, remember that New Start principle: nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, sunlight, temperance. Temperance is about being balanced. Social media can absorb your life. And if you can take time away so you can leverage social media but get time back, I automate. And Buffer is a great audience building platform. You can plan and schedule great design related content that drives meaningful engagement and growth for your brand. And by the way, I'm not getting paid to promote Buffer. I just really like the product because it's super simple to use. It's not that expensive. And if you can sit down one day for maybe 2-3 hours, you can plan the type of content you want, put it all in Buffer, and it will schedule it and it will post it for you. Now, I am personally, I'd spend more time planning the best content rather than sitting there trying to think of what to do. So I use Google Notes or Google Docs or Notes to basically prepare the type of content I want. I then basically use Google Sheets to create a calendar around what type of content I'm going to post. And then I use Buffer to schedule that content, whether it's a quote or whether it's a link to a great article. And the type of tool that I use to basically find the best articles is a tool called Feedly, Feedly. Feedly. And Feedly helps you to find the best articles, whether it's on LinkedIn, blog content, anywhere on the internet. Feedly is a great tool I use to basically find good articles. You see, what Jeff Bezos says is that your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. And everything I've shown you is really about how do you stay top of mind in a time when everybody is at home. With so many people at home, you'll be so surprised how many people are still not using this time to get themselves out there on a platform like LinkedIn. So my last point I want to leave you with is about networking. Guy Kawasaki, has this great quote where he says, the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. Marinate on that for a minute. But the key thing I want to leverage from what he says is they look for and build networks. So there's a powerful principle here. And the key thing I want you to remember today, guys, is that it all goes down in the DM. I bet money when we have Q&A, speak to somebody like Rupert, he can definitely attest to this. If you get your DMs going and getting them busy, then things can help you in this time. You see, the single greatest people skill is a highly developed and authentic interest in other people. So if there's great people you see online that you want to reach out to, or people might reach out to you, then it can really be helpful. Here's a guy by the name of Andre Collin that he just reached out to me one day. Hi, my name is Andre. I'm a copywriter of What's Creative. I'd like to join your professional network and feel free to bother me anytime. Now, from that, myself and Andre, we started a great conversation. And I was able to help him understand and meet more people that could hopefully find work for him. And he just reached out to me, and it was a great thing to do because I don't know how it helped him directly, but I've also been able to help a friend of mine, Javerne, today, she leads the music department for Stormzy. I don't know if any of you know Stormzy, the artist. So my friend, she basically runs all of the music, choir, basically she runs all of those. I have a friend that's a videographer. She needed a videographer. I said, hey, I got a friend over here. Boom. I made the connection. He's now got work where he didn't have work. She's now got a videographer. Boom. And sometimes you can reach out to people or let people know that you're available. And that's a great thing to do. But you've got to stay top of mind. She said she remembered me because I posted something on my Instagram platform that reminded her about what I do. And that's what I'm saying. Some people already know what you do, but because you're not staying top of mind, they may not remember you. Okay. Here's a gentleman by the name of Errol Gerson. And Errol Gerson is a business coach and strategist. And I basically heard a podcast of his on Christo's The Future. And I basically said, you know what? Let me just add this guy to my network. So my initial message was, hey, I'd love to connect. I hear you on the Future podcast. It was amazing. And then 45 minutes later, myself and Errol are just talking back and forth. And he gave me some amazing gems that I'm sharing with you here today. It's integrated into my presentation that he basically charges people thousands for. So this is what I'm saying. When you go out there and you network, you'll be so surprised. Guys, everybody is at home. So if you can network during this time, this is so effective, because even though we may feel like we're on the bench being at home, guys, this is the time we could set ourselves up, create the network, create the opportunities, so that once the economy starts booming again, once things start getting back to normal, I know it's going to be a new normal, but once things get back rolling, there may be jobs in this season, but it's very difficult. But if you use this time as a setup, then when the economy gets booming, you can get jobs again. But all of these principles work and can even get you jobs now. Like I said, that story about my friend Javern, who now has a job with a friend of mine, Olivia, who now works with Stormzy. And if I said to Javern, this is not a small link I'm giving you, so make me look good, because it could actually help him along the way. So you could reach out to friends, family, past colleagues, past clients. Here's screenshots of LinkedIn where people reached out to me and I reached out to people. And LinkedIn is WhatsApp, using WhatsApp to reach out to people and start conversations. A great way of people can DM you directly. Remember, like I said, it all goes down in the DM. And the currency of real networking is not greed, but it's really about generosity. So it's thinking, how can I help people more than even my own needs in some cases? Because sometimes it's in you helping others that it leads to the biggest and best opportunities for you as well. So really today, the 4 steps that designers can get through hard times or find work. Remember, you got to keep a positive mindset. Plan your day. Follow the New Start principle. Nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, rest, and trust. Think holistically about your health, but make sure you plan your day as much as you can. You've got to sharpen your skills. What skills do you need to develop that you hadn't had time before? What skills do you want really on your resume? This is a time to read the books, to bolster yourself, to get yourself ready. But keep marketing yourself. When you're on LinkedIn, can I share articles? Can I share posts? Can I maybe create now? Maybe can I be a content creator? And if you are a content creator, by the way, LinkedIn at the moment has the best organic traffic of any social media platform. And because you create content with video, LinkedIn will prioritize video over every other type of content post on their platform. That's what LinkedIn are doing currently. It won't last forever. It will become like a Facebook or an Instagram as marketers go onto a platform like LinkedIn. But LinkedIn's marketing platform is not good at the moment. And when I say not good, it's not as effective as Facebook's Instagram and Facebook ads. But it's going to get there. It's going to get there eventually. And you got to make sure that you're networking in the DMs, getting your phone out, messaging people directly, reaching out to people, connecting with people. Who have you admired on a podcast? Who have you listened to on podcasts? Just reach out to them directly. Trust me, guys, in this season, you just got to say in your mind, nobody is off limits, and I can do all things right now that maybe I have never had the time to before. And before we go, I want to leave you with a free gift for everybody that's chosen to come online and attend today. If you go to my website, and specifically if you go to laithwallace.com/free/UX design /portfolio, you can screenshot this for those of you that want to know. I've created a template, which is a portfolio template. So anybody that's looking to redo their portfolio, I know I've put UX design, but if you're a product designer, UI designer, if you're an interior designer, whatever type of designer you are, you can use this portfolio and literally rehash your portfolio. And it's got the best kind of layout. I've spoken to many other designers about this. I've tested it with other designers. I had a survey with over 120 designers to see if it would work, and all of them loved it. So you definitely can take that, and it's a free template. I've got a PowerPoint and a Keynote version, so that's there free for you. If you go there, you can type in your email and just download it now. And just as we close off this little section, I'd love for you to connect with me as well. So if you go to my LinkedIn profile, just type in Laith Wallace. I'll be the first one because my first name is Arabic and my last name is Scottish, and I'm Jamaican. And I promise you, there's no 2 Laith Wallaces in the world. All right. So literally, if you go there, let's connected, and boom, let's go into Q&A. I hope it's been helpful for you today, but let's go. So guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video today. If you love what you've seen, literally just go to my website, click on the link in the description box below, download your free gift, use the portfolio so that you can get the jobs that you want going forward. Also, I'd love for you to like this video, press that thumbs up button, and also subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell and click all so you get all of the notifications from me directly straight to you. Once again, have a great and blessed day. Thank you so much for your time, because you could have been doing anything else but you chose to be here. But yo, just literally go to my website, get your free gift. Thank you so much for today, and literally look after yourself, look after your families, and in this time, just make sure that you're keeping your mind safe and you're thinking holistically about your health. All right, guys, have a great day. Take care.